Music Miss! Hello, Mrs. Wallet here, and welcome to Lesson 1 of Musicals. So to begin, we are going to have a look at a picture, and I would like you to think about and discuss some questions to do with it. So put on your detective hats, because just using what you can see there in the picture, I would like you to tell me what can you see, where do you think it is, when do you think it is, why, and most importantly, how do you know? So what is backing up your answers to those previous questions? Pause the video now and play when you have finished discussing. Time for some answers. So, what can you see? You can see the exterior of a theatre advertising a live stage musical production with neon signs, lights, images and the words razzle dazzle. Where? You can see it says the Cambridge Theatre, and that is in London's West End, which is very, very famous for stage musicals. It's like the UK version of Broadway. You might have heard of Broadway, that's in America. When? The photo was taken in 2010. The original Broadway production opened in 1975 with the revival in 1996. The film version was produced in 2002. So I'm not expecting you to have got the exact date 2010, but hopefully by looking at the kind of the colour photo and the high quality photo, you'll have been able to work out that that was a more modern picture. You might notice that the picture that you can see is in sepia, not in colour. So hopefully you should have been able to kind of work out that Chicago, the film that it's advertising, the musical that it's advertising, is going to be set in the past. Why? To advertise a stage musical production and attract customers. The use of the words razzle dazzle are from a song in the musical. In a second, we are going to be playing a little game of bingo. If you are at home, you need to see if you can find Chicago on either a streaming service or maybe you have a copy of the DVD at home. If you are in school, your teacher will play that after we have been through the terminology on your bingo card. It is worth mentioning that the film version of Chicago is a 12, so if you are doing this lesson from home, please make sure you only watch that video with permission from parents, and you need to make sure you are 12 before watching. So these are all things that I want you to be having a look out for whilst you're watching the film. I'm going to read them all out now, and then I would like you to pause this video while you discuss in pairs or groups, or if you're at home you have a little bit of a think about what those different words might mean, and then I will let you know what each of those words are. So, solo songs, costumes, instrumental music, dialogue. Second line says lighting, chorus songs, mime, vocal duets. Third line says ballet, choreography, scenery, comedy. Next line says a monologue, sound effects, different acts and scenes, storyline. Then we've got trios, tragedy, suspense, and murder. And final line says extras and minor characters, tap dancing, props, and lead characters. So whilst I was going through those, was there anything that you heard and thought, I'm not sure what that is? And maybe there will be somebody that can help you out, or you could even have a quick Google and do a bit of research. So pause this video now and discuss. So I'm going to explain the meaning of all those different features now. If you have already discussed and there was none that as a class you didn't know, you don't need to listen to the end of this video. Solo songs, that is when one person sings a song on their own. Costumes is the name for anything that is worn by any character during a play or a musical. Instrumental music is when there is a chunk of music that is just instruments and there is no singing. Dialogue is when two people have a conversation. Lighting is the special lights that are used during a production. Chorus songs. This one's a little bit interesting because when we talk about song structure, the chorus is the bit that gets repeated and is the same every time in the song, like a little chunk of the song that everyone knows. A chorus in a play or a musical is different. The chorus is the name for the whole group of actors together, including any extras or minor characters. So a chorus song is when everybody that you can see on stage joins into a song. And it's got to be quite a few people, not just one or two people, because that is a different type of song. That could be a solo or it could be a duet. Mime is when somebody pretends that something is there that isn't. So they might be miming pulling on a rope, they could be miming a door. It's pretending something is there and they are kind of doing actions, but the thing isn't actually there. Vocal duet is where two people sing together. Ballet is a type of dancing. I'm hoping you already kind of know that one without me going too much into it. Choreography is a dance routine. So a choreographer is somebody who makes up a dance routine, and choreography is the dance routine itself. Scenery is anything in the background of a scene. Comedy, I'm again hoping you know that one without me explaining that one too much. Obviously that's funny. Monologue is when one person does a big speech. Quite often it's to the camera, but not always. So Romeo and Juliet and quite a lot of other Shakespeare plays start with monologues. Sound effects are when there are sounds that aren't actually really there, that get put in afterwards. So for example, if somebody gets slapped, often that doesn't make much of a sound, but the sound effects team could add a sound effect to that to make it sound more dramatic. Different acts and scenes. So there's usually two acts, a first act and a second act, and after the first act there's usually an interval. Scenes is any time there's a scene change usually. So when it goes from one setting to another setting, that is a different scene. Storyline, again hoping you know that one without too much explanation. That are the plot points of the story. Trios, that is three people. Now it doesn't mention whether it's singing or dancing, so we could have a trio of dancers, we could have a trio of singers. Tragedy is something very sad that's happened. Suspense is like that moment on EastEnders before the drums, the bum 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 ba ba ba, and it's when it's making you kind of think what's going to happen next. A murder, I'm hoping you know that one. That's when somebody has been killed on purpose. Extras and minor characters. So that is anyone there to kind of set the scene. Chicago starts in a club. And obviously in the club, the main parts are the person who is on stage, and then there is a couple of characters off stage who you can see talking and having a conversation. An extra or a minor character is anyone else in that club. So if nobody else was there, that would look really, really odd. But we have to have people in the audience, people working at the bar, waitresses going around the tables. All of those are extras, and minor characters is somebody who might have a couple of lines. So, for example, the person who is playing the music, he has a couple of lines, but he is not a main character, he's a minor character. Tap dancing is a type of dancing where you have special bits of metal on your shoes so they make a sound. Props is anything on the set, so it could be a glass, if they're having a drink, it could be a chair, it could be a table, anything that you can kind of touch and move, that is a prop. and lead characters are the main characters that the musical is about. Now I want you to watch the first bit of Chicago, and whilst you're watching for the rest of the lesson, you're going to mark off these as you see or hear them on the film. So that's all for today. Don't forget to click like and subscribe at the bottom of this video, and I'll see you again soon for another Music Miss. Music Miss!